Rafi, you have to go through the game and let's try to find out what's happening where.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go.
Can you hold on.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to give you the control. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna request it.
yeah, okay.
Okay, I think you can move pieces now. Yeah. So whose point of view I should be looking at this from? White?
I mean, yeah, White lost the game. You can look at it from probably, I would say it's better to look at from Black's point of view this game.
And figure out why black lost, right?
No, what was the mistake which White did, and what were the critical moments with which Black actually got the advantage?
Oh, identify white's mistakes.
Yes.
Then I should probably look at it from white's perspective,
Up to you. I mean,
because then I can
whichever
see like what I
suits.
would have done differently.
Sure. Okay.
Wait, Lopez.
So far, everything looks normal, right?
Yes. Okay, so excuse me. Okay.
Some critical moments. That's the most important part of this thing.
So yeah, let's just think about this knight maneuver that he did for a second. Here, I don't
Mhm.
I don't think he should have played the bishop to e3 because I think the knight needs that e3 square.
Okay.
Bishop e3, I think here is a mistake because he needs to be able to predict that, hey, in the future, near future, definitely
Mm-hmm.
some kind of knight, e7 or knight, whatever, and followed by e6 is or c6 is definitely coming. Like
Mm-hmm.
black's not gonna let white just keep a knight there on d5 forever.
Of course.
So
So
either,
bishop e3, you are saying it's unnecessary, yeah?
well, I'm saying that white needs to see, is there a scenario where c6 will happen, but I won't be able to trade off my knight, that I will have to retreat with my knight. And if that is
Mm-hmm.
the case, then I need to make sure that a really good square is available for my knight, which the only one that seems to be available is here, within reason, is e3.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore,
Okay.
I will not take away e3 and go end up having to forcefully go to like a ridiculous square like b4. From
Mm-hmm.
b4, the knight is hit many, many times over and over,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the only way he would
Yeah.
be able to, I mean, like as it played out, like for example, like here he misplaced the bishop, so I would say this is the first mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, automatically the knight simply just hopped away. Here, I think that I don't know. Honestly, I feel like he should have maybe even played like c4 or something here. But anyway, like allowing this scenario of the c6 move to happen, I think was just a bad idea. Like here, he also, I think this is also kind of like possibly premature. I don't know, because it doesn't seem like he needs to. D4 is the right way to play this right now.
Mm-hmm. So basically, you're saying that there was no need to play bishop e3 and white could have just started with a4 and d4, something like that?
Something like that, yes. But
Mm-hmm.
more so than that, like he should have, yeah, put the bishop on d2 and
Uh-huh.
then
Okay. So keep this available, yeah? The knight on e3 square.
yeah, knight needs to go back to e3 exactly.
Okay.
And
I
then
actually
slowly
agree
try to
with this.
play like a4 and stuff like that instead of trying to break open the center right now. Because
Mm-hmm.
black, think about it, black doesn't really have anything solid in the center. D4 is taken away by the c3 pawn. The
Mm-hmm.
dark square bishop is still blocked. Like he has to play f5 and stuff, try to open things up. So I don't know why white would forcefully try to break this all open with d4 when black has such a strong control of this d4 right now. I mean, not control, but like, he has a lot of pieces that are ready to jump in and help in the center. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
think it was a good idea to break the center this early. I think he should have played on the wing where black is trying to expand and his pawns have weakened a little bit, right? A6, B5.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I agree with this one. Maybe bishop e3 was actually unnecessary in the position.
So then next, after this, I think everything just kind of played itself. Like black just had an awkward positioning now. So look, knight has no choice, right? Has to go to this awkward b4. Then it's just like white one after, it's like a domino effect after this, right? Constantly, it's
Mhm.
just like white is having to uh toggle this knight over and over now. Then comes that forcefully. I mean, here even, well, if you try to, you can't even take because b2 is hanging now, which is why I was saying that there's no reason why white voluntarily opened up this position with that dark square bishop there, knowing that he
Okay.
doesn't have any kind of help on the queen side really. Why would I open that, purposely? The bishop now became a monster immediately. So now again, has no choice really but to opt into this. I don't know. Maybe could he have gotten away with d takes c5? What would happen after this? Because if that happens, maybe he's just losing a pawn. I don't know. Not sure. Something like that would happen, I think, right? White would just lose a pawn. So, mm, if he has to play d5
He
and
has
play
to play
here,
d5, yeah, because he cannot come back, right? Like knight a2 seems pretty weird,
yeah,
and dc5 doesn't make any sense. So he has to play, right? It's kind of like a forced move.
right. Yep. It's a forced move, leading to a very weak, unprotected pawn on c6, forcefully,
Okay. So
which is
here
just a
I have a question, Rafi. Like, do you think black's knight e5 is good, or black should have just tried to play knight d8 and take on c6?
1 second. Hmm. Doesn't knight b8 run into a takes b5, and then he has to take with the knight, which is not ideal at all. So from that perspective, I don't think he should play knight b8.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So knight e5 from that perspective makes a lot more sense, I think. Because that
Actually,
c6 pawn can be rounded up probably later on in many ways.
yeah. Actually, knight b8 has I think, a bigger outcome. White can play e5 after that.
Hmm. Knight b at e5. Then if knight takes e, oh, knight's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm. So basically, white is crashing through the pawn structure.
Yeah, that's a very important move in that case then to stop this e5, which would open up the light square bishop
Yes.
and cause problems with d6 pawn as well.
Yeah, you can actually see here. So e5 and okay, now any move leads to a position like this, yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So now it's already, I think, very tricky for black to play such positions because if you play something like this, I can even go takes and bishop b6, yeah,
Mm,
and okay, I'm getting all these stuffs. So the position is fine, but it's fine only if you find moves like knight e5 as well.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow.
But knight
Yeah.
e5 is kind of intuitive, yeah. I mean, it's usually not recommended to go back so passive to pick up a pawn.
Right.
Mhm. Okay, yeah. So you can say, but we can say that knight e5 is probably like a critical moment, yeah.
Yes. But I
Mhm.
don't think white made any other mistakes besides, bishop misplacing the bishop. So far, I don't really see any like obvious mistakes besides that bishop misplacement, which is what led to a lot of this stuff. After this, the things can kind of seem to like play themselves out so far.
Mhm.
Okay, so he played knight here. He's trying to take up a pawn. So, white doesn't have any other way to really protect that pawn.
Mhm. Yeah, okay.
Unless, unless, yeah, there's really nothing to do. I'm not sure if taking here is necessary per se, but he had to. I don't know.
Probably he has to, yeah, or else he was just gonna take knight c6.
Right. But c6 is definitely gone, no matter what. Should he have instead tried f1? Rook f1, f4, f5? Sounds really ambitious, but maybe. But this black knight on d4 is going to be so strong once it gets there.
Definitely.
I'm not sure, honestly, in this position what I would do. It's like a bunch of different things happening, but none of them are good for white. And black's bishop is just way too strong now, and d4 is completely in his control forever. So it may already be in a situation where there's just like really hard to generate any kind of play, right? Because those two bishops with the dark light square bishop being blocked with e4, there's no attack. Like white is going for this attack, but I don't think there's anything. Black has a dark square bishop to protect those dark squares. Knight's there to help. Queen can jump in on f6 any moment. And white cannot undo his, get his light square bishop in the action into the attack. So it's basically like white is down a pawn with
Mm-hmm.
nothing on this king side for attack. The two bishops
Mm-hmm.
are not really able to play together at all here. So I don't know. I feel like I would almost play like Rook F1 and F4 here. Maybe protect the B2 pawn or some first or something. But white has to generate aggressive attack on the king side just to even try something here.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually pretty difficult, yeah, for white to play because I think white doesn't have a lot of I mean, a lot of attacking ideas, and black somehow uses the d4 square to defend everything. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So this king H1.
Okay, this is already, I think, like a bluff kind of situation. I mean, it's like a what? I mean, I would probably say white has given up here. So this position is lost anyway.
Mm. I don't understand why he played king H1 though.
Yeah, I think this is already like a bluff. But okay, I don't see any other
Like he's
uh
tempting black to take that so he can open the F file to attack F7.
yes, probably like that. But okay, queens are also getting traded, yeah. So there is no point.
Right.
And also f7 is, I mean, okay, it looks weak, but black has like enough defenses, yeah.
I was gonna say there's like two rooks waiting to defend it, a knight, a
Yeah,
queen.
knight can defend from both these squares. Plus, to attack f7, you need bishop a2, yeah, which I can always block with c4.
Yeah.
So this is all, I mean, this is already like a bluff, and I think black is just winning here after queen f6.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, here, white didn't make like a huge blunder, yeah, but the position somehow collapsed all of a sudden, right?
Mm. Yep.
Okay. Would you like believe that in this position actually bishop at 6 was a mistake? I'll show you the evaluation here. So the position is still equal, okay? Like black is winning a pawn, but I think white has some dynamic activity to maybe equalize the position at max. But
I think I
bishop
can
at
guess the equalizing. Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say I can
I
probably
mean,
guess what should have done.
uh-huh. But bishop at 6 was already like a mistake, and after this, it's kind of just like one mistake, other mistake. It just kept on growing up and up, and okay, now here itself, by the way, I think yeah, no, here it's just straight away lost here. And even you can see the computer is suggesting that ignore everything and just even take this one.
Hmm.
So he's saying that with such a strong dark square bishop and with the knight coming to e5, there is anyway no chance of attack. Like anyway, nothing can happen.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So this is something very similar to your game, you can say, yeah, where you prefer to slowly play positions like this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So now Rafi will try to do it in a slightly different way. So we are
Okay.
seeing so many technical positions, yeah.
Right.
So let's try like this. Okay. So it is white to play in this position. How would you proceed from here?
I think that mm, I'm not certain. Maybe he can try, or I can try possibly. Maybe putting some pressure on E5 is a possibility.
Yeah, very correct. So how do we do that?
Only way I can think of would be something like say, I don't know, Rook D5, Bishop D6, and then moving the knight somewhere so that the other rook can attack it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like that, maybe. So Rook D5, then followed by knight Like knight move somewhere, I don't know, d6 or something like that. Or
Yeah.
bishop d6, rook d5. That's all I can come up with basically to attack that pawn.
Okay. Okay. So not bad. I just wanted to show you like what sort of plan white made. Yeah. So very similar plan. Just let's see the difference. Okay. So in the game, white played bishop b4, a5, bishop c3, rook e7, and rook d6. So what do you think about this plan? It's pretty much the same. So now rook d5, and okay, gets this knight d6 and wins this one. So the only thing is the bishop came to c3. So do you think it has some like good meaning, or this was all unnecessary and white would have just started with rook d5?
What was unnecessary? Rerouting the bishop to c3?
Yeah. I mean, was something like this possible as well?
Not as easily, right? Because now we have to think about like the pin on the rook,
Yeah, exactly.
all types of more. The bishop on d6 is hanging in this scenario,
Yes.
and the
I
bishop on
think
c3
that's
just cannot even be bothered. It's just can sit far away and still
still attack, yeah?
bother the e5. Yeah.
Yeah, very correct, actually. That was the key point of this position, that you actually don't need the bishop on d6, but rather the d6 square should be free for either the rook or the knight,
Mm.
because both of them have some sort of a meaning, yeah? Like, for example, in this position, you can see, so bishop e8 was played, yeah? So already white can try and play knight f6 here, you know? This is one of the winning attempts, which is already available in the position.
Hmm.
Because if you take and I take, you are automatically losing the pawn, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think it's important not to have the bishop on d6, where it can be in some variations pinned if you will play rook d5. And I think white has to play rook d5, yeah? So here it became just even better, yeah? Because now it's not just e5, there are threats of knight b5 and knight f5 as well.
Hmm. Yep.
I think white just like, okay, in the game this happened. So white just took knight b5. And okay, rook b7, again, knight d6, rook d7, and knight f5. So everything just fell apart, yeah?
Hmm.
And on top of it, a5 is also hanging,
Yeah.
okay? So in this kind of positions, yeah, like the rule is pretty simple. Like if you will see some top players game, yeah, like this Karpov and Petrosian, and even like in the modern days, you will see Kramnik and Gelfand, for example, yeah.
Hmm.
It's like their opponents, they don't get a chance, yeah, once they make a small mistake. it's
Non-stop. Yeah.
it's yeah, after that they never get a chance, and the reason for that is it's not like their opponents are not able to find the counter attacks or anything. It's more of the fact that there isn't anything to actually attack. It's like a flawless conversion, and the main reason behind it is it's just the the player doesn't allow anything. So
Well,
the,
because I
the
think those higher players understand the piece to square coordinations extremely well.
yes,
They know exactly intuitively where do my pieces need to be in these kind of positions for future tactical operations to work out in my favor.
yes, basically they
They're digging
understand that.
deeper into the position to
Yeah,
understand like
they
how it could play out 10 moves later.
yeah, it's more of the fact that they just know that if I put my pieces on such and such squares, there is no possibility of a tactics even.
Hmm.
So that's why you see, yeah, like in this position also, I mean, white could have attacked e5. Like it is kind of obvious, yeah, that we need to attack this pawn because it's a bad bishop and it's okay. It's like a backward pawn as well.
Uh-huh.
But to attack that pawn, we had to find the best route, yeah. And it looks like, see the position when we check with the computer, yeah, it's equal. You can see the computer's evaluation is equal.
Yeah.
But few moves only white played, yeah. White actually played something like this, rook d6, and rook d5, knight d6. And you can see already the defense which black has, it's not very easy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And bishop c6 was already a mistake, which looked very obvious though in the position. And now it's already lost. You're down a pawn and you're losing another pawn. So in like 5 moves, the position from equal went to +3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is a sign. I mean, I would say that I actually learned this kind of play by watching a lot of Karpov's game, which I think also can suit your style as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I know that you also don't like to allow a lot of counterplay to your opponent where you have to calculate and convert. Yeah, it's more of the fact that you prefer to go for an easy conversion, let's just say.
Yep, absolutely. I don't want, yeah, I want to slowly build up pressure until it just cracks. Like that's the type of chess I like the most.
Yeah, this is actually that kind of position. Yeah, I mean, this position actually resembles that.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't have to force anything, but
Mm-hmm.
slowly you build some pressure and your opponent just cracks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Perfect.
interesting.
So I actually think, Rafi, probably we will wrap up here for today.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow as usual, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Perfect. So tomorrow my plan is to have this kind of positions
Mm-hmm.
from the technically sound players. So we
Mm-hmm.
will see some of their games, and actually you will be very surprised that those guys, they don't actually make any mistakes, but at the
Mm-hmm.
same time they don't play some brilliant moves also. No? It's just like understanding of the position.
Mm-hmm.
It's not calculation per se.
Got it.
Okay,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sounds good.
perfect. Yeah.
All right, man. Talk to you then. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yes, Rafi. Yeah.
Okay.
And do let me know how your session goes.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks,
Bye.
Rafi. See
Mm-hmm.
you. Bye.